Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
Hope you enjoyed the little intro. I would like to update the intro. Obviously, as time goes on, I'm gonna want to change it, but I definitely want to add more to it. Make it a little longer. I think. And like
Yeah,
when I'm
change
playing
is
it
good.
back in the stream, I don't hear it, so I'm kind of missing out on watching the intro myself. But welcome back, everybody. Um, feel free
Wait, I
to.
didn't even
Or,
see the intro. Did it even pop up?
well, aren't you watching? Aren't you monitoring the stream?
Yeah, I didn't even see the intro.
Can you guys comment and see if you saw the intro? Because if not, then I'm gonna play it again. Because I feel like you may have missed out, especially if this is your first time watching. I want you to be able to see the intro. Didn't
Yeah,
see
no.
the intro. All right, everybody, please hold. We're gonna run this back. Here we go. Hopefully that worked. Let us know
Yeah,
in the
no, that
comments
one worked.
if you
No,
actually
that
saw
worked.
the intro. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, am I right? Every week.
Every week,
It's
you
always
can't get it.
something.
Can't get it.
I mean, I'm working with a ragtag setup here, so uh, in time it'll get better. Eventually, equipment will get better, but we're bare bones here, so and that's fine. That doesn't affect any of the information that we're given, any of the talking points, and all of the. I think it just makes it more authentic, honestly. That we
Yeah,
have the desire to do this and don't necessarily have the right equipment set up to do it well.
we do it for the love of the game, really.
Yeah,
You know.
that's like one of my tweets earlier today. I was like, it's like you don't get the truth isn't what gets you paid. Honestly, it's just spreading propaganda that gets you paid.
Yeah,
Just do it for the love of the game.
we should. Maybe we should just start clickbaiting and just spreading the popular information. Maybe we'll grow, and then once we have a big following, just drop the bomb of what we actually think.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I know people do that on Twitter all the time. They're just rage baiting all the time.
Yeah,
It's like I don't know what you actually think. I try to be genuine in what I post. I mean, sometimes I rage bait people a little bit. Just like
yeah, I've done
I
it a
know
couple
that I'm
times.
gonna make them mad. I'm whatever. It is what it is. So I guess the biggest news of the week. It's been kind of a slow week, but I think the biggest news is the election in New York. I would say Memdani
Mm.
becoming the next mayor of the city of New York. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm glad I don't live in New York, for starters. Uh, I know socialism is inevitable now. I think I have a feeling that New York is going to see a massive, massive outflow of people over the next couple of years. Um, I, it's, you know, I think the troubled me too is, I mean, there really wasn't a great candidate, but for the amount of support I saw for Cuomo was crazy, and it was kind of just like the lesser of two evils. So I guess that tells you how much people did not want Mamdani to get in office. You know?
I think I think one of the craziest things about Cuomo, like he was the mayor during the height of COVID, and he I would say is directly responsible for his mishandling of of nursing homes during COVID, and whether you could say indirectly or directly, whatever, but responsible for the deaths of a lot of elderly people because of his poor policies during that time period. And so I don't. He
Hmm.
didn't really have a base to run on. He kind of just had. He's like the normal just like Democrat guy. He's not saying anything extreme. kind of sticking to the typical Democratic values. And then the people on the right were like, okay, we want you to vote for Cuomo. Like, kind of playing it as a lesser of two evils
Yeah, I mean, how
vote.
do you switch up like that?
But I would say that the main thing is that Cuomo is, I believe, he volunteered to be um, a lawyer for Netanyahu, and he's avid supporter of Israel. I think it's
Yeah,
an and it,
that is one thing I will say about Mamdani is I think it was a debate, and the question was, where's the first place you're going to visit after, if you won? And
where did they
they're
all
just going
say?
they're going through the line, and everyone's like, oh, I'm going to take my 15th trip to Israel. I'm going to take my first trip after my son has his bar mitzvah. And then goes to Mamdani. He's like, I'm staying in New York. Like, I'm sticking with all the boroughs of New York, and I'm going to help the Jewish people that are in the country. In
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
again, I don't really support anything that this guy brings to the table,
No,
but
I think I'd
I
agree
will
with you
say
there.
I think his stance on that was the right stance to take. And he still got, over 30% of the Jewish vote in New York, which was crazy. But I think that was the strong outlier position to take.
Yeah, I think
And I'm sure that got him votes.
yeah, and everyone on the other side of the coin was calling him a radical jihadist and saying he's anti-Semitic, all this nonsense. And I mean, yes, he is a Muslim. I don't know how practicing he is because to each different crowd, um, I guess he kind of moderates himself to meet his audience and try and just like he does crowd work basically and changes his personality. He has different accents that he uses to garner the support from each of the groups that he talks to, which is like I think that's just inauthentic. But he's just saying what the people want to hear. Like I'm gonna give you cheap food, free buses, free housing or low cost housing, whatever, rent freezes. It just I guess talking about
But I'm
afford.
going to take 54% of your income.
Yeah, but it's just he's talking about affordability, and I think that's what resonates with
Yeah,
people the most. A lot of young people
especially right now.
that don't. I think the problem with there's a certain class in New York. It's like the young, kind of spoiled, overeducated, liberal arts degree students in New York that feel like they're entitled to a lot of things, but don't feel the need to um, give anything to society, or they don't have really a desire to
Or
work. They just kind
contribute.
of
Yeah.
yeah to contribute. And you tell them I'm gonna give you free stuff, they just like jump and
Okay.
throw their hands in the air like yes, yes, please. But they don't understand any of the economic ramifications that come with trying to give anything for free. Nothing is free. Somebody's gonna pay for it. I think you're
Right.
just incentivizing the people who pay most of the taxes in the city to leave. It's undeniable.
We did get a comment about Mamdani here. I don't know enough about him, but I saw that he was posting about NYPD back in COVID, racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety.
Yeah, I
Was
think
he referring to NYPD there?
yeah. So, um, Cuomo has said things in the past about the NYPD, and Mamdani has said things in the past as well. I think they both recently kind of, I guess Cuomo apologized. I don't know if Mamdani apologized, but he kind of changed his viewpoint. Maybe not. He may not have changed his viewpoint, but at least what he said, he changed it up, and he was a little bit more kind to the police. Um, saying that they need more support, and I think he wants more
Well, like you
social
said, he's saying
workers,
what he
but
needed
not
to
to
say.
take away the actual police of the police force. Not that that's gonna
Yeah,
help, but
he's just saying what he needed to say to get in office, and it worked, whether he
yeah,
believes it or not. Uh, but bottom line is, not at least for my views, not a great person to be in office.
no, I don't think people really understand um,
Or I guess
socialism.
in
I
a
guess
position of power.
just any
Yeah.
sort of state crafted extreme governing in the name of like citizen control, right? Like that's the name of the game is everyone shares everything. But it never happens like that. How many millions of people need to die before you realize that a certain system doesn't work? You're just
I
gonna keep
saw
trying
I,
it, and the communists, the socialists say, "Oh well, it wasn't done right. They did this wrong." It's like, "Oh, you try it again, another 10 million people die," and then you're like, "Okay, well they didn't do it right." It's the same thing every time.
yeah, I saw a tweet and I replied to it. I think it might have been today or the other day, and it was you people don't understand the difference between socialism and communism. Like, read about it or something. I don't know. It was along the lines of that. And it's like, yeah, they both suck. There's a difference, but they're both terrible and they both have never worked.
Yeah,
At least never worked for the public. They
it's
work for the people in power.
it's just de-incentivizing in all of society or whatever um, group you're trying to enact these policies on of free stuff or whatever, just social programs. Mamdani's also talked about commune housing and social housing developments. It's just
State
like,
grocery stores, right?
yeah,
Wasn't
state
that?
grocery stores, and it doesn't work unless you have an extremely high tax rate in the population, and then you completely de-incentivize the population. This certain group in New York that already isn't really contributing and doesn't want to contribute to the labor, you're gonna really cut the legs out of people who are actually doing the legwork here.
Hmm.
Funny enough, the people who are making all the money and paying the taxes for you to have these services, you're kind of just cutting them out by saying, okay, well now we're gonna tax you more for the same amount of work. You're gonna get less money, but we're gonna give it to all these people that feel entitled and don't contribute to society. And that's just always how it goes in the Soviet Union. They just it was the government was there. You weren't allowed to have private farms, so the government would take over these private farms to try and um, influence the amount of grain and crops that went back into the food supply. But it didn't work because nobody wanted to work. Like you can't just take over someone's farm and be like, okay, now you're gonna work for free and everyone's gonna be fed. Like no, it just doesn't work like that. You're completely de-incentivizing everything.
Yeah. I mean, the ideal is that you have what you work for and you work for what you have. And when you take that incentive away, there's no reason to work anymore.
I mean, with that
Like, if
being
you know you're gonna, oh, go ahead,
with
go
that
ahead.
being said, like I just want to say that I'm not saying that New York is affordable or in a good place. It's obviously not. Regardless of whether Mamdani was elected, it was already going downhill fast. It's unaffordable. The crime's too high. There's just it's a city in disarray, and there needs to be a huge change for anything um, to get better. I don't
Hmm.
think that, and that just really wasn't an option between any of the candidates. So continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I got my point across, but what was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, I got my point across. No incentive to work, then people aren't gonna want to work.
Yeah, I think that a lot of young people just don't understand. I don't really know how they're propagandized to believe that these policies will work. We have so many historical examples of them not working, and then they say, "Oh, well, you haven't tried this. You haven't tried this." It's just the
Well,
idea of free. You just keep saying free, and people are like, "Oh, free." It's like it's not a real thing.
I think it goes back to the instant gratification thing that our generation seems to have, where it works for them right now, so why change it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the idea that no one looks either into the past or into the future, which you need to do in order to understand the ramifications of these policies. And yeah, it might be working for you right now, but timelines as short as years from now, it might not work. Or if you ever want to start a family, think about what that's going to be like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not in the past year, nothing's gotten cheaper. Maybe gas has got a little bit cheaper. I know housing. The average age of first time home buyers is 40, according to a new study. So doesn't exactly give us hope.
Yeah,
Um,
by the time we get to 40, it's going to be 50 or 60.
I think, and that goes back into like the general housing. not only is housing unaffordable, buying a house, but apartments in New York are so unaffordable. I think one of those reasons is just New York is like a sanctuary city, right? They have a large population of illegal immigrants. They don't really want to do anything about it. They are taking housing. It's not that it would. I'm not an economist, so I don't know if that would, drop the price dramatically if you were able to get all these people out. But it would create more of a supply when there's already an extremely high demand. And it's not like I don't have empathy for the people that are living there, right? But I can have empathy and still say you need to go back to your country.
Well, yeah, I mean it's basic, like you said. I'm not an economist either, but it's basic math. If you have a finite number of houses and you give a percentage of those away for free or government subsidized, the remaining are naturally going to get more expensive. So you generate roughly the same revenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you make more houses available for people to buy and pay for. It's going to drive the prices of houses down.
Yeah, and in this video I saw where Ma'am Donnie was talking about like social housing developments and housing communes, he was also talking about making it very difficult for developers to build complexes. It's like, okay, so now you're gonna have the state build the complexes. How long do you think that's gonna take? What's the build quality of these places gonna be? They're gonna just deteriorate. They're gonna be filled with people who are otherwise not that otherwise homeless sounds bad, right? It sounds like I just want the people to remain homeless, but these places are just gonna turn into like drug using facilities, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just gonna either like squat in there, or if it's a place that you don't have to pay to stay. I just don't think that's.
Yeah, there's no incentive to take care of it either.
And there's no incentive to take care of it. There's no incentive for the state to take care of it. They're not making money from it. There's no incentive for the people living there to get jobs or contribute to society. I mean, yeah, I understand cheap housing, right? Like, but I don't think you can mandate that via government control. It's not going to work. More government does not work. If you allow the free market to thrive and deregulate, that is what allows competition and people to fight over the rent to try and get more tenants than the other person who's charging a higher rent. I guess we're in a situation where we have too many people in the country and not enough housing, and I think that's largely because of the amount of illegal immigrants that are here. There's estimates it's like 10 to 30 million illegal immigrants came in um, in the 4 years of Biden. I'm not saying that's all his
Yeah,
fault, right? It's just generally a lax border policy.
it's just basic supply and demand. And the problem is, once the housing market goes up, people no longer can afford houses, so they rent, which drives the price of rent up. And it just becomes a never-ending loop of people our age no longer able to buy houses until we're 40.
Yeah,
And at
and
that point, like I said, it's the age is going to be even higher, unless something changes. But
I guess this is what I don't like about the messaging of the current administration, right? Like you say, oh, we've closed the border. There's no one coming in now. It's like, okay, where are the mass deportations now, right? It's like there is too much of a demand and not enough supply.
yeah, I mean, in defense of that, it's not a process that's going to happen instantly. And I think we're working toward it. And I think in the long run, we'll see better numbers on that end. Um, but I mean that raises a whole other issue of due process, and I mean we kind of touched on that a
Yeah,
couple of weeks
yeah,
back. But
definitely. I don't know.
you could
It's
argue that
hard,
due
right?
process only applies to U.S. citizens, but
But then it's like you have the extrajudicial killings of the people on the alleged narco boats, and they're not citizens. So it's like, do you get to just kill them? No, but I don't think that it's like you committed a crime in the country. I don't think. Granted, if they get it wrong, right? If they get it wrong, they're not perfect. They're not gonna. I don't think you can do it with 100% certainty that every single person um, is an illegal immigrant, right? It's just it's a government agency. They're not gonna be perfect, and I think expecting that is too much. I would hope that the people that um I don't know. I guess my question would be like, if you're someone that gets taken by the authorities suspected of being an illegal immigrant and you are a citizen of the United States, how hard is it for you to present the proper documentation right there to be like, I'm a citizen, and then they'd be like, okay, we're not going to deport you. Like, how hard is that? I think
Yeah.
it's because of this Maryland man story. You remember the Maryland man? He's just like a father. This guy they took from Maryland, and he was like a MS-13 a former
Oh, really?
MS-13 gang member, and all the people on the left were just like, oh, he's just a Maryland man, he's a father. It's like, get him out of our country. But
Yeah, I mean,
and it was known that he was like not a legal citizen, but the left doesn't care. They just want you to
no,
stay there.
that's a vote. That's a free vote
More
right
people
there.
to take benefits, food stamps, welfare.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's crazy? This is a little off topic, but I saw another tweet today that was, I was like, if you are in line to vote for Mamdani in committing voter fraud, like stay in line. And I was like, that is a crazy thing to say, because
uh,
like back when the right side was claiming voter fraud during the was it the 2016 election?
2020.
2020 election?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the left was like, "Oh no, it's not voter fraud. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist." And now you have a severe left-wing socialist running for office, and you have his supporters saying, "If you are in line to commit voter fraud and vote for this man, stay in line." And that is just a wild statement to make.
But, but let's be honest. Are you surprised by that?
I'm not surprised one bit. No. No.
I think it's just par for the course. People
Yeah.
are
It's
brainless, spineless. They don't really know what they're allegedly fighting for. They're
a
just
moth to a flame.
yeah. That's a good way to describe it. I don't think they have direction. I think they just listen to things that I don't know they want to hear. Nobody's going to be like, "Oh, I don't like free stuff." Everybody loves free stuff. Why not?
Nothing. Yeah, you know what? Word of advice, nothing is free. Nothing is ever free. And if you hear something is free, there's some string attached to it.
There's always a string. What about buy one get one free?
Yeah, the string is that you have to first buy one.
Yeah.
That's already marked up 1,000%.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of like the free pizza party at work. Like, no, that's not
Yeah.
free. It's just your
Yeah,
incentive
yeah.
to do more work. That's like
Yeah.
your one kind of boomer coded benefit that you get from working there. Besides your less than probably what you should be paid paycheck, you get a pizza party every year to show their appreciation for you. It's like, I don't want this. Just pay me more.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I guess we could talk about kind of transitioning. As we know, there's been the ongoing strikes of the alleged narco boats in the Caribbean, but now there's talks of the United States. They're weighing their options to possibly conduct military action against cartel groups in Mexico. Now, do you think that would drag us into a possible larger scale conflict with Mexico, or do you think this is something that Mexico would be accepting of?
Oh no, I think that's absolutely cause for conflict right there, especially if it's boots on the ground, which I don't know. Has there been enough information out there to know whether it's targeted strikes or boots on the
Not
ground?
from what I read, but I would assume if it's first action, it's going to be some sort of strike from the air. But again,
Hmm.
if this is like what they're doing in the Caribbean, they're just striking targets with no evidence, at least not to Congress, that they are actually what the government claims that they are, which is narco terrorists. Are they just gonna like blow up someone's house and be like, yeah, that was like a
Your
a
drugs?
drug
Yeah.
manufacturer, or like they had a meth lab in their basement, like what? I'm very curious what happens, right? Obviously, I think that maybe shouldn't be the way.
I think it's one thing to stop the influx of drugs into the United States. I think it's another thing to launch targeted strikes at a foreign country without, like you said, without providing proper evidence. And again, let me reiterate: if these are narco terrorists, I have no issue with it, other than the fact that there's the potential to start unnecessary conflict. But
I guess there's
it's
no way
just
to
such a fine
how do you
line.
prove it? How do you prove that these people are narco terrorists? You're kind of it's a guessing game in reality.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some sort of imaging. I mean, with the quality of cameras these days, these videos that we're getting are, I mean, granted, what are they, satellite we're getting it from,
Yeah.
or
Or
UAVs,
drone,
but
yeah.
drones, yeah. But I mean, still, come on, we have to have better technology to get a 240 pixel like PowerPoint presentation
I would like to
where one frame you see a boat, the next frame it is just on fire in pieces. Like, ah,
I
I
would
don't
like
know.
to think that the Department of Defense gets a better view when they're actually like looking at the target versus the video that they post on Twitter after they conduct a strike, because that video is
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a boat and there's water. I don't, but it's not clear to me other than it being a boat and it's in water. It just looks like a boat, and they're like, oh, but now you can see like the floating drugs after it. It's like I don't know.
Hey, not to backtrack, but we did get a comment, what I assume pertaining to the previous conversation, but it says, "Why is it such an issue with everyone having to bring their license or some sort of proof of residency when voting?"
Oh,
That is a great question, because you need your license to buy alcohol, you need your license to buy scratch tickets most of the time. Uh, I I don't know why you don't need proof of identification to put someone in power. That
hmm.
seems like that seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to have to do in order to vote in this country.
I think
I mean, we have a voting age for a reason, and we have policies where citizens are allowed to vote for reasons. And to just, I mean, it's seriously the equivalent of saying, okay, you need to be 21 years old to drink, but
hmm,
no one's ever going to check your license. Like, what do you
right.
think's going to happen? You're going to get people under 21 going to buy alcohol. Like, it's the same thing.
I think this is
And you
like
just,
a much deeper issue than just the states wanting to. I don't even know what the reasoning would be. Joe Rogan has always made a good point whenever he talks with his guests about this. Like, what other reason for is there for a state to remove the requirement for voter ID other than wanting to cheat?
yeah, no, that's a great point.
And we've seen such a massive influx of people coming from the southern border in the past 5 years, and you see all
Yeah,
these blue states saying, okay, now we need to remove voter ID, kind of in unison, because in my opinion, they want to have permanent blue states, because if you can allow illegal immigrants the right to vote, most of them coming from South America,
are
on
going to vote for the people
average,
letting them come here.
there's like based on the percentage in which um, I don't know, Hispanic Americans typically vote, or Hispanics in general typically vote, it favors the left far more than it favors the right. The percentage is a majority of Hispanic voters vote with Democratic policies. So if you could flood your state with illegal immigrants, get rid of the voter ID requirement, you can basically just have a blue state forever. That's kind of what we see with California. California is basically a blue state forever. We saw some like there was kind of a comeback in the 2024 presidential election. Some of their counties flipped red, but I think there's such an influx into their big cities of illegal immigrants, and probably just a big illegal immigrant population. You give everybody the right to vote, even if they're not like. I've heard that there's states that are just giving people the right to vote that don't even live there, right?
Yeah, I mean, this past election, what did we say? There were people from New Jersey going up to New York to try to vote, or was it,
Mm-hmm.
what state was it? I
It's
bet
probably New York.
there's another great comment to your point of, Joe Rogan's idea of why a state wouldn't require it, and on the other side of things is, why do people have an issue with showing their ID to vote. And it's like the same thing on the people side and not the state side of the only reason they would have an issue with it is if they're trying to get away with something illegal or wrong.
Yeah,
Like
that's and
me
that's what's one of the
as an
comments
honest citizen
actually.
and voter.
If you aren't doing anything wrong, you can easily show proof. Like, what's
Right.
the issue? Well, if you're like, who doesn't have an ID? Oh, it's likely people who aren't citizens of this country.
Or aren't old enough to vote.
I think this is maybe this election that just happened was a great opportunity for ICE to deport people, but I think they may have missed out because
Oh,
you show
come
up
on.
you show up to the election. I don't have my ID. Okay, you're a 30-year-old individual. How are you even surviving? You don't have a
Uh,
driver's license. You don't have any form of ID.
how'd you get here?
Hey, buddy, where's home? You're going back.
uh,
And I think
that's
it's like
funny.
it's not that I don't have empathy, right?
Yeah, no, yeah,
You
absolutely.
just
I mean,
there
people
are
come here
people who
for a reason.
really need benefits who are disabled or veterans. And I honestly don't care. Like I think veterans kind of deserve priority over veterans and the disabled deserve priority over everyone else. So and I think American citizens deserve priority over illegal immigrants. Like we can't be the big brother of the world and just give handouts to everyone because we turn into exactly the places that um, these illegal immigrants fled from. Like we're going to turn into Mexico long term. You flood the country with enough people who and have a large relative percentage of people in your country that are not citizens. Like what is your country? And they're not only are they not citizens, but they're like not embracing, I guess, American ideals. Like
Hey,
not
man,
tr-
how,
not that it's I don't not
how did
embracing the
America become
idea of
America?
well, it wasn't illegal immigration.
I mean, you could argue.
I mean, you could argue, but it wasn't an established nation, and you're
No, it
coming
was an
over
established
and
nation, sure.
conquering tribes that are scalping each other and doing rituals in the woods.
But it's an influx of people who weren't otherwise there.
Right, right.
And then once enough of them show up, the nation grows around those people
Mm-hmm.
faster than it grows around the people who were established.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think this is something where I kind of feel let down. Like yeah, I don't the mass deportations aren't going to happen instantly, but and I don't know exactly how I would do it if I were in the position to have any sort of control, but I just know that it needs to happen.
Yeah, I guess I'd argue that I think that's one of the things of this administration that I think is going okay so far because it is happening. I
Yeah.
mean, we are seeing at least an effort, and like I said, it's going to be a long term change. And it's certainly one of, if not the best thing that's been talked about.
I don't know why we just don't build the wall. Like I guess now it's like most of the influx has stopped, but man, would we have had this problem 5 years ago, 6 years ago if we just decided to build the wall? $5 billion, and now
I
we pay $150 billion a year for illegal immigrants to get benefits from the government. I think that's the average is 150 billion.
I'd argue that at any point in time when the wall was started, there was bound to be some sort of increase in immigration.
Just because people know they're like, now is my chance.
Yeah, right. I think that has something to do with it.
100 years ago, this nation was like 98% white. I mean, yeah, that that's I guess that's factual. I don't necessarily know how that pertains to the conversation. The Great Replacement theory. I mean, I would say that the Great Replacement is definitely real, but it's I guess in what sense are you talking about? Like I guess like
Yeah,
what
I
I
mean,
just talked about is replacing voters, right? You're changing the entire demographic of the country so that it's a permanently democratic society. Well, democratic and then will lead to socialism, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I think there is like a definite goal to even erase the idea of Republican voting because I don't like yeah, there are scummy things that Republicans do, right? And I don't think they'd stoop to the level of, I don't know, allowing.
I don't, I'd argue that both sides are getting just as bad as each other
Yeah, I guess the
to
Republicans are
some
just like,
extent.
we're gonna kill whoever we want without congressional approval, and the Democrats are like, well, we'll just let illegal immigrants vote.
Yeah, I mean it's two sides of the same coin. Where did I see that oh man, I don't know where I saw this, but uh it was it was like you go far enough, the party system is a circle, you go far enough right, you end up at the left, and if you go far enough left, you end up at the right. And it's like this theory that
Oh, the horseshoe theory.
doesn't the horseshoe theory, yeah, that no matter where you go, you meet somewhere in the middle of I think where we're getting to right now, where it's just radicalism on both sides. And that's why I mean, I have my ideals, but I mean, I have a tough time telling people I'm a Republican, and it's not because I'm ashamed of it. It's just because I don't align fully with the Republican side at the moment. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah, I agree with that. I think the horseshoe theory
libertarian
is
constitutionalist, but
yeah, I think the horseshoe theory is something that's pushed by like the pro-Israel people on the right, just to equate the people that are on the right that are speaking out against Israel, just like equating them to the left, and that kind of like denounces their
yeah,
opinion, right? You say, "Oh, the horseshoe theory is real," like you're basically a leftist. It's like, no, you're more in the center than I am. Like you just support foreign wars and I don't, and you just support
I mean,
giving money to the a tiny nation in the Middle East, and for what reason? So they can have a Jewish ethno state and treat the people next to them like scum with our tax dollars? No.
I think this is a great segue to our other topic of freedom of speech or lack thereof.
Mm. Yeah.
And I mean,
Which was like the thumbnail of the video, right? Is like
yeah,
it's this big, the big. I guess some people are calling it like a civil war. I guess it's more of just like people going after each other on Twitter. But um,
yeah, it's this like right wing. I mean, right wing civil war essentially. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right terminology. But it's people who I mean, I'd argue it's people who agree on 90% of things, and there's that 10% Israel that people don't agree on, and it's causing this. I mean, we're almost forming into three parties right now. You have the Democrats, and then you have the Israel supporting rights and the non-Israel supporting rights. Like and they're going at each other's throats. I mean, a lot of these people are people that did shows together or were on the same news station or were friends.
yeah,
And it's like you see this childish you know cat and mouse fight going on of you disagree with me, so you're anti-Semitic, and you disagree with me, you're not America first. It's like this. I don't know. Do you want to talk on this topic? Because I feel like I'm gonna go on a rant
I
here.
mean, I agree with what you said. It's basically like you say one bad thing about this tiny country that most of the neocons, well, all the neocons support it, but a lot of people on the right generally support, and Trump obviously is very supportive of, right? And then you get called an anti-Semite, and that's just like the biggest name call there is, really, because that's just like equating you to being a Nazi, right? And it's just like what everyone agrees for the most part is like the worst thing that you can be. So it's just like from 0 to 100 as fast as possible, and just immediately discrediting you. It's like, no,
Yeah,
sorry, I don't want you to just kill people in random countries all over the world. I don't agree with that. I'm more moral than you, who supports this tiny country, who just wants to like, who sees the Palestinians as a parasite, and sees, I guess, not just the Palestinians, right? It's any of the Arabs in the nations surrounding Israel. They see as parasites and want them all to be bombed off the face of the earth.
it just I think that's an important point that you said there.
With your
It's the
tax dollars, by the way.
yeah, it's the discrediting of people's character, and I think it's ultimately one side trying to silence the other by any means possible. And I talked to you about this earlier, but I mean, it goes back to the biblical times of people disagreeing with Jesus as he was, you know, preaching, and ultimately they called it blasphemy, they called it whatever they wanted to, and they killed him for it.
Hmm.
And I know that's a bit of an extreme analogy, but it's the, you say something, or Tucker says something and gets called an anti-Semite, and suddenly people see that word and they're like, oh my God, I can't listen to this guy anymore. And it's discrediting him, when in reality, like I said, 90% of his views are shared with whoever's calling him an anti-Semite. Happens to be Big Ben here, but the
Big
point
Bad
being,
Ben.
Big Bag Ben, but the point being is there's no longer room for an opinion
Mm,
anywhere.
yeah.
And I think that's a scary place for society to get to where you can't even speak your own voice without being called something absolutely terrible, or someone digging up something from 20 years ago that you said, which is sometimes funny, but not the point.
Yeah.
It's a terrible way for people to communicate.
It's
Because
a
at the
it's
end of the day, we're all in the same country. We should all be getting along.
yeah.
I know that sounds kind of uh, utopian, but we all have the same end goal.
Mm.
But instead, we're just going at each other's throats on social media, which is just social media is a nightmare. But I mean, I don't know if you want to. We can pull some tweets up. We had planned on. Well, we can introduce that on later, but
Yeah,
some
I
of this stuff
mean,
is
so
is
the thing
ridiculous.
with Ben Shapiro, right? Like I used to, I guess, and you might have too, kind of like
Yeah.
grew up in my teenage years watching his debates. Like he's super eloquent, he talks fast, he's smart, he went to law school, like he knows a lot. But on
I think he's an intelligent guy.
this main issue, in my opinion, he just gets it so wrong, and he's just like so out of touch. And it's obvious to see because his viewership is declining. Well, Candace is now like the number one most listened to podcast in the world, or show. Maybe it's just her live show. And Tucker's ratings are going through the roof. And you have these like Israeli propagandists on X Twitter on Twitter that are like, uh, Tucker's interview with Nick Fuentes on YouTube got 5 million views in like 2 or 3 days. In Ben Shapiro's tweet, his hour, or not tweet, he had like an hour long monologue, him denouncing all these people, Tucker, Candace, Nick Fuentes, and just anyone who was like speaking badly against. It really just boils down to Israel. And then Nick Fuentes comments on Ben Shapiro's Twitter, which had, I think at the time had like 23 million likes and like 100,000 views. Nick Fuentes comments and gets like 200,000 likes. Sorry, I think I said 100,000 views. Ben Shapiro's post, which had 20 million views, had like 100,000 likes. Nick Fuentes comments like some rage bait, right, and gets like 200,000 likes, and then everyone goes off and says this is obviously anti-Israel bot farming. It's like, no, people
Yes.
just don't agree with you. Like, yeah, you could say what you want about Nick having crazy views on certain things, but people don't agree with you. Like, you can't just
Hmm.
go and cancel everybody just for having a conversation. Like the conversation between Tucker and Nick, Tucker's like the, I don't know, like the father figure in this situation. He's like giving him good advice and kind of like clarifying certain aspects of his views and like forcing Nick to say like, no, I don't agree with collectivism. Like there are.
No. Tucker is the biggest threat to right wing politics.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Right.
no, I think he's the person kind of uniting people just because he doesn't care about any repercussions. He says he doesn't, like, now I would say he's probably in the crosshairs for like some sort of attack on him, which is terrible to say, but like this is the type of
Hmm.
stuff that you say, and people are just equating him to being a Nazi. And they're just like, what's next? You kill him, and then you take out the Nazi threat. And it's not even like, I don't even think the people on the right are saying this to try and get the support of people on the left. They're just saying it because they think that they're right and everybody should support Israel. It's like, if you don't, you're just a crazy anti-Semite and a Nazi. And you have a,
I think that term is so terribly
I think it's just
loosely used.
desensitized.
It's desensitized, but it's so terrible. It's awful how loosely it's used, and I think people forget what it was used for. in the people it described. It wasn't someone who disagreed with sending Israel aid. That doesn't make you a Nazi. It doesn't make you anti-Semitic. Do people remember what a Nazi was or who the Nazis
Well,
were?
I guess virtually no one alive now was there to experience what happened.
Read a book
Yeah. Well,
or Google.
I think I would maybe a hot take here, but I don't think that our textbooks are entirely accurate on the story of
Yeah.
everything that happened throughout history. And I'm not saying that specifically about the Holocaust or World War II or anything. It's just like there's just a lot missing from every story. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
the textbooks that we read, like I don't remember anything virtually from what I read in school from these textbooks. I've gotten most of my information just from doing my own research. I think it's a lot more effective.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, U.S. history books are going to be geared toward the reader being a U.S. citizen or from the U.S. in the same way that you go overseas and you read a history book there, it's going to read the same story will read completely different than it does in the U.S. history books.
Yeah, I think and what Ben's doing and what a lot of the super pro Israel people on the left are doing, I think that you're just making anti-Semitism worse, right? You're calling everyone an anti-Semite. You're just desensitizing the term. People are like, they just assume the role. It's like, okay, fine. It's like, you're Jewish, I'm not going to listen to you. It's like basically what they think about Ben Shapiro. You look at his comments, or when we do the Twitter segment, we'll probably see some, right? It's like people are just using it as an excuse to denounce him because he's kind of throwing that same thing their way, right? Like they're an anti-Semite, but what he's calling them an anti-Semite for is like completely baseless. And then they just like, I don't know, maybe not the same people, but people go back and say to him, "Oh, you're Jewish, your opinion doesn't matter." Like on Israel, because like obviously you're gonna support the Jewish ethno state.
And here's the thing: if every single day I woke up and the first thing I tweeted, Luke, you're a good friend of mine, but if the first thing I tweeted was, "Hey guys, this guy Luke, he's racist," someone might read it and go, whatever. And then if I did it the next day, and then the next day, and if I do it enough, eventually some people are gonna go, "Hey man, this guy might be a racist," even though you're not.
It's just conditioning.
But it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's conditioning. It's if I say it enough and enough people read it, they're gonna believe it's true. And I think that's part of what we have going on here.
Yeah, if I could just pause for a second and reach out to the comments, anybody who's watching, just if you could smash the like button, that'd be a big favor for us. I mean, if you don't like it, don't press the like button. But if you like what's happening here, you like the conversation, hit the like button, and please leave comments. We love to answer questions.
Yeah.
It's been a slow news week, so we're kind of just riffing here.
Yeah, off the cuff.
Definitely, just say whatever you want in the comments. We're not.
It's fun though. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about unrelated
speech
topics.
Absolutists. So. But yeah, going back on the topic here, like the conversation between Nick Fuentes and Tucker, right? Everyone's like, and then like yeah, there was definitely stuff he said, and there's definitely stuff that I disagree with him on. Like I think he's very immature
100%.
on a lot of issues, right? He's a very intelligent guy though, and he's undeniable. His popularity is undeniable. He is so popular. He's probably like one of the most popular people on the right, if you can call him on the right right now.
You have high acting government officials going at him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, that's how you know right there that he has popularity is when you have Ted Cruz tweeting at Nick Fuentes. Like, I mean, clearly he's recognized for a reason.
Ted Cruz is a joke, though. Honestly, Ted Cruz
I used to be a big Ted Cruz supporter. I mean, I haven't really followed him.
I supported
recently,
Ted Cruz in his re-election in the midterms in 2022, probably 2018 as well, before he was a complete shill. And then he comes out and says, like, he wanted to run for Congress to be like the, I don't know, foreign the best supporter of Israel in America in the Senate. It's like, dude, I mean, it's not like I voted for him. I'm not from Texas, but damn.
Yeah. We got a comment that says, "Did we talk about food stamps?" We hammered the food stamp topic last week. I mean, I don't know if we want to go back into it.
I
Feel
think
free to go back and watch that. We can briefly discuss it if
well,
you
I
want,
think
but
there was a federal court that said that Trump had to pay food stamps, like it was out of whatever leftover money the government has. But I think
yeah, didn't we eliminate like man, I could be getting this number wrong,
I
but
think he
wasn't
was
it
gonna
like
make a partial
1.6 or
payment.
1.7? Yeah, but I thought we eliminated like 1.6 or 1.7 million food stamp users.
Carry on.
What?
No, I don't. I didn't hear that. I don't know.
I could be making that up. I don't know
I
if I
trust
saw
you.
that. Maybe it was a dream, but no,
Maybe it
no.
was a
Like
dream.
maybe it was a dream.
I think it's gonna be.
But
It's gonna need to be a lot more than that for it to be a dream.
yeah,
Maybe like
that's true.
half.
I don't know. 42 million people on food stamps. How many of those need it? How many of those are legal citizens? It's
It's
a
a toss
slippery
up.
slope. It is a toss up, yeah. But needless to say, it's a shame that people who don't need them are taking it away from people who do need them. I saw that 6.
What do you? Yeah, 1.6 or 1.7 million. Fug
I don't
Ted
know if
Cruz.
that's
Ooh, guys, look into the Alberta territory in Canada. Can you please provide more context to your comment?
yeah. I mean, we can live search it, but
Oh, I search it,
we
but I'm only gonna
yeah
look up Alberta, Canada news.
we we are the uninformed podcast and just riffing off of opinions and our take on
Just give. I'm not seeing
random
anything that's
stuff.
like standing out that seems too crazy. So just give me, if you don't mind, giving me some more context about that specific story or Alberta, Canada. You mean the 51st state? What do you? We never talked about that. Whatever happened to Canada becoming the 51st state or acquiring Greenland? Whatever happened?
Yeah, I mean, it started with
Promises
the
made,
Gulf of
promises
America.
kept.
uh, it's a great Gulf. Now it is.
Yeah, I honestly like I. I think the name change was pointless, but Gulf of America does make sense. Like it's not like it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
North
whether it needed to be
America, the
done,
Gulf of America,
funny
and South,
nonetheless.
like yeah. But it was more of a troll, I think.
Yeah,
But
rage
I
bait.
wish you would stop just trying to troll
Rage
leftists and
baiting.
really just try
Yeah,
and make life better for the American people that actually need it. Uh, oh, Alberta wants to. I assume you mean secede from Canada. Like that's the idea, right? I don't know, man. I don't think that the United States wouldn't have to go into these countries and try to acquire them. I guess they're gonna try to acquire the oil infrastructure in Venezuela through military action. That's one of the possibilities that I read. Take over their oil infrastructure so that we can just have access to their oil instead of agreeing to the deal that was proposed to the United States by Venezuela a couple weeks ago. We're just gonna go in and steal it.
take.
It's all we do. It's the American Empire.
We even take from our own citizens.
Oh, my nose is itchy. I feel like I look so
Where
sus
do you
whenever I
guys
itch my nose.
Where do you guys see things? Yeah, you look like Amber Heard on the Johnny Depp trial. Did
You
see
watch
video?
that?
Yeah, did you see that clip? You pull that clip up. Anyway, hold on. I'm gonna read a comment while you're pulling that up. Where do you guys see things transitioning after Trump leaves? Is there still going to be this level of insanity regardless of who is president? Who do you see as potential candidates? I think it's going to be a tough battle to get another right-wing or Republican in office. Potential candidates, I mean, obviously, I think we'll have JD in there. I mean, do you think we're going to get any reruns from the previous election?
What are the 17 Republican candidates?
Someone hands her a rag or something, and she's like, and then like is profusely wiping her nose.
Harry Potter, where the best bakers
and an ad, so you might be hearing the ad. Um,
But yeah, I mean, I
this isn't
Democratic
it.
candidates. Hey, maybe we'll get Mom Donnie in office there.
Maybe we'll get Kamala back. Maybe she'll
Maybe we'll
run
get
again.
Kamala back.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they're saying, right? They're poisoning Kamala for another run. That's not. She has
Hey,
no
well,
chance.
Nancy Pelosi's got some free time now.
Oh yeah, she just finished her what 20th term in office, so now she can become president.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got the age for
Ah.
it, right? She's old enough. Why not have another
Uh,
elderly person in office? Can't hurt, right?
no,
Someone that
they're so much more
someone that
easily
is
controlled.
just cannot relate at all to the working generation.
We should give. Oh no, you know what? That's mean. I honestly feel bad. I was gonna say we should give Biden another term, but that'd just be mean.
Yeah, it was mean that they even gave
I
him the
wish him well.
2020 term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
I
hope he's
wish him
doing well.
well.
I know
Just enjoy
he was
your
sick for a
retirement
while,
after
right?
being a terrible
Yeah.
politician your whole life.
Yeah.
But still, enjoy your retirement. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw the. I guess it was more of Netanyahu reacting to the video that the one of someone in the IDF leaked of a group of IDF soldiers raping a Palestinian in I think it was a prison. This happened like
Yeah. I don't know if
over
we
a
want to
year
pull that
ago.
video out,
I'm not gonna
but
play the video. I don't have the video, but Netanyahu basically came out and said like this was terrible for the PR of Israel, right? To have them on video raping a prisoner. I guess it's like in the video you can't necessarily see what they're doing, but they put up there's like a group of like 10 soldiers probably, and they make like a wall out of their ballistic shields, and like you can only assume what they're doing behind them. It's just to block the camera.
oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see it fortunately, but I mean, that's just disgusting.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
really know
and
if I have
then
anything else to say. That's just
another
terrible.
crazy thing that happened a while back was there were I don't know if you ever saw the video, but a bunch of people in Israel were pounding on a prison door because they wanted the right to rape prisoners.
I did not see that, but
That
again,
sounds unbelievable, right? It sounds unbelievable, but um, I gotta refresh my memory. Oh, my keyboard is probably so loud.
that is a crazy search right there. Yeah. So anyway, hey, you didn't give your opinion on what the future looks like after Trump and who we think is gonna
Well,
be in
if
the
the
presidential race.
so we saw I don't know if you saw the interview of JD Vance. I'm it's not coming up instantly, so I don't really feel like looking for it, but JD Vance did an event for Turning Point. I forget where it was, but he did like a little speech, and then he opened the floor for questions. He did like an hour of answering questions. He had a lot of questions about Israel and the support of the United States in Israel, and it's like,
Dodged him like the Matrix.
yeah, really. I mean, if that's an indication, granted, it's like at a college campus, and it's like all young
Yeah.
kids, which is are a lot more sympathetic to the cause, but um, if that's any indication about what the future holds, it's not looking good for anyone that's just establishment falling in line. And it's not just Israel, it's just foreign aid in general, right? People are sick of wars. They're sick of sending money to other countries and getting nothing in return, and just
I
having
yeah,
a negative impact on everything in our country.
I think that's an kind of a important point to make, and I'll make it for myself. You can agree or disagree, but I know it sounds like we harp on Israel a lot, and that's just kind of what's going on right now. But it's just foreign aid in general. It just seems excessive. And like I said, it was Ukraine for a while. Now it's Israel. I mean, it's both of them, but this could be any country, and my views wouldn't change
But it just so
depending on
happens to
the
be the
situation. But
only country in the world that we think it's okay for them to have an ethno state,
yeah,
despite the ethnicity, right? It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that your tax dollars are going to support an ethno state that believes that the people that they live next to or of a different ethnicity are parasitic and subhuman, and they deserve to be wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, what if the U.S. was like that? We are, aren't we the number one diverse country in the world?
Probably. It would make sense. I, I just, yeah, like you said, Israel's just a hot topic right now. It's not like it's all I
Yeah.
care about. And then the like the Zionists on the right will say, "Oh, you're just obsessed with Israel. You're just obsessed with Israel." And then they say, "Oh, like why do you care so much about a country in the Middle East the size of New Jersey?" Just because they want to just discredit anything you say as if it has no meaning or no value. And it's just
Yeah.
not true. Like you have people in this country in our Congress that are more loyal to a foreign state than they are to your country. And um like I probably have already said this. You have Randy Fine who has tweeted um maybe we could pull it up on Twitter if I could find it
Yeah.
cuz
You want to do the
yeah,
new
hold on.
segment?
Let me just finish this. Randy Fine said he wants the streets of Gaza to overflow with blood, right? He's a sitting congressman. I don't know, think I think he's a congressman. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I guess it doesn't matter, right? You have someone in Congress tweeting that, and he's tweeted other things, right? Someone posted a picture of dead children in Gaza, and he responded to it saying like "ha ha," and then something else like he laughed at it. And you have Lindsey Graham, who Trump is endorsing for his next Senate run for the midterms. His first
What an
endorsement
absolute putz.
as president in this term. Lindsey Graham, who says, as Republicans, we kill the right people and cut your taxes. And this is something Tucker harped on in his most recent episode. He interviewed one of the people that's running against Lindsey Graham for that seat in South Carolina. It's like you are just like a demonic human. Like you don't deserve the right to
How do you say? Yeah,
represent
how do you think that's
anyone.
acceptable to say?
If you're a neocon and you just support war and you support choosing to
We live
kill
in such a
people and just demoralize other countries, and then
we just live in
that's just
such a
normal.
tension high society.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
so radioactive. Man,
But like, and another example is I don't remember who it was, right? But there was someone, I think it was a congressman. He dressed up in his IDF uniform in the halls of Congress. You should be sent back to that country. I'm not. You could be a citizen of the United States, born in the United States. I don't care if you're wearing the uniform of a foreign nation. You should go there. Why are you? How does that show that you're representative of me? That it doesn't. So
all right, you want to bounce into our new segment?
yeah, so we're gonna do a little. If you weren't here earlier, we're gonna do a bit where we just scroll through our show's Twitter account and just kind of like read stuff and kind of just we might end up
Respond to
responding.
it.
If you guys in the
Yeah.
comments want us to respond to something, we'll take your input. But yeah, we're gonna go over to our browser tab here.
And we'll apologize in advance for any heinous tweets
There
that
might
might
be
come up.
some crazy stuff, so
This
bear
is
with
yeah,
us.
this is a kind of another part on that freedom of speech thing. All I can say is, at least my Twitter feed is full of people I don't follow, harping on Candace, harping on Tucker. It's
Yep.
all pro
Yep.
Israel, and I just am confused on how that is my feed because I mean, in essence, granted, I have a somewhat diverse group that I'm following, but it's honestly like the opposite of who I'm following. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm responding to those tweets.
Mm.
Maybe that's what's doing it. But the Twitter algorithm seems so broken and leaning in one direction. I
It
I
is
don't know.
very broken. As
For
someone
a
who
supposed uncensored platform, it seems to be somewhat I don't know, somewhat prescribed.
yeah, but I mean, before we go into this, just if you have Twitter, go and give our account a follow at OPTN Alpha. Um, Try to post every day in there.
Yeah, we
It's
also
just
have
like
our individual Twitters
yeah,
that
we have our individual Twitters. I don't think they're linked in the
No, but
in
we
the show's
probably
page,
have like
but we have
tweets and
retweeted
retweets and stuff.
and
Yeah.
comments on the show's page. So go give our show a follow if you want. You can follow our personals as well. I think you'll get a little bit more craziness on our personal accounts, a little bit more candid.
We should
So
we should put the Twitter and the tags in the bottom there on the stream.
oh yeah, that we should do
We
that.
can do that for next episode. Yeah.
All right, so
Someone had a comment. Hold on, before we do
yeah,
this, someone had a
if you
comment.
wanna
I
manage
saw.
the comments because I can't see them right now.
Yeah, I can do that. I saw Trump's daughter converted to Judaism. Is that true?
Yeah,
No, I
so
didn't see that.
Trump, Ivanka converted to Judaism because Jared Kushner is Jewish, so he converted her.
Ah,
Or I
okay.
guess probably influenced her to convert. And he talked about
Yeah.
this in his speech in Israel after oh, what was it? I think it was like talking about the peace deal. Like he gave a speech and he was like I'm grateful to Jared Kushner and I don't know if you saw the interview. This is not to do with the Twitter thing. I'm just like rambling here, but Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, who's Trump's Middle East envoy, handles a lot of negotiations in the Middle East, or has handled them, at least this go around. Jared Kushner described Gaza and said it looked like a nuclear bomb went off. I think he said it looked like Hiroshima. And then they asked him, do you think it was a genocide? And he's like, absolutely not. It's like, all right, buddy. But anyway, I think we have a good first tweet here. Record 18.6 trillion in household debt. Record 13.1 trillion in mortgages. 1.7 trillion in auto loans. 1.7 trillion in student loans. 1.2 trillion in credit card debt. Total household debt is up 60% over the last 10 years, and credit card debt is up 50% since 2020. Delinquency rates on subprime auto borrowers at a record 6.1%. We're drowning in debt. Oh, layoffs in October were the highest since 2003. We touched on this a little bit on our last episode. Hundreds of thousands of job cuts. We got a little Tyler tweet here. So this is Tyler's account. Yeah, one take everything you have. The other just takes most of it. They're both terrible.
I had a typo in there.
For F's sake, will you please learn the difference between socialism and communism? Look up or shut up. Yeah, I guess you touched on this earlier. Like, yeah, they're not exactly the same, but I guess socialism is kind of just like light communism.
Yeah, one you give 100% of your belongings, the other you give 54% under the new system in New York.
Elon Musk's tweet talking about Tesla shareholder meeting. Ad.
I hope we get some of your tweets in here.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So a little bit of context to this, right? I can't. I'll have to like go back into it, right? But anyway, this Israeli dude, because I commented on. So there's this guy. His Twitter ad is Vivid Prowess. He's Indian. He tweets from India. But he claims to be an Israeli, and he is probably the most pro-Israel page on Twitter. Every single day posting propaganda. See if I can find the original tweet here. Yes, okay, then there's another tweet from me. So
Luke is a professional.
So this is Vivid. The tweet says, over 150 Hamas terrorists are still stuck in an underground tunnel in Rafah. Should the IDF fill it with cement to drown them, just as they did with the tunnel beneath the European hospital in Gaza? This is showing the last time we did it. And so, over 150 Hamas terrorists, obviously you see no source here. So I responded with this meme. Source? Like, what's the source? And then it's the guy like levitating. I made it up with an Israeli flag. It's a classic. They got like 4,000 impressions on that. And then I clarified here, it's not the video I'm accusing of being made up. It's the claim that there are still 150 terrorists hiding in tunnels. This poster is from India. He is Indian. He claims to be in Israel. He is not. And then this guy, obviously Israeli. Let's click on his profile real quick. Does it say MA? I don't know what that means, but he's got the Israeli flag in his bio, and it seems like a Hebrew name, and he's reposting Hebrew accounts. So I'm gonna guess he's from Israel. Doesn't matter, but he says, "Glad to hear you say there aren't terrorists in those tunnels. We'll just continue implementing our security policy in our territory of the Gaza Strip. We may soon have some terrorist bodies in exchange for the body of Hadar Golden. Stay tuned." P.S. To whoever is funding at Option L, my Twitter handle, this is what you get from Pakistani fakes against Israel. Do something else with your money. So he's accusing me of being a Pakistani bot. Um, so that's when I posted this. I have been accused of being Pakistani. You literally cannot make this up. I wish I was funded for speaking the truth, but money is not. But the money is not in truth. I do this for the love of the game. See, like the classic Chad meme with the all these soy jacks pointing at me and screaming and crying. It's like, dude, if anyone was posting like a bot, it was him.
No, but it just goes to the whole discrediting thing. Like, his whole point of this was trying to discredit you.
Yeah. I don't know if this is...
I mean, I guess you could argue that you were doing the same, but yours is more rage baiting.
Yeah. that was so funny, though. And this guy... So this is reposting Tucker's most recent podcast episode where he talks about Lindsey Graham being a terrible human being. This guy says, "I will fly from Alberta to South Carolina to help support Lindsey Graham against the morons who try and primary him. Those people attacking him are nihilistic revolutionaries trying to push woke right politics over the West." Let's see. Let's do a quick profile check here. Host of TNT, I don't know what that is. Baptist Zionist neocon. Bro, you're putting that in your bio?
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I don't know. Do a little scroll here. We got a little Nick tweet. Konstantin Kisin, who is an extreme Zionist. I guess this guy's from Canada. I don't know. He's just posting about Canadian stuff, but respectful memes. Nothing crazy. Trying to get to something that's like political and kind of relevant.
Go refresh.
We'll do it.
The algorithm's gonna know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, so this is the median age of U.S. home buyers chart. This is what I was talking about, that 40-year-old figure for first-time buyers. Yeah, this is it. You can see repeat buyers and all buyers. The average is 59, or 62 and 59, respectively. So, Generation X, and I don't know if 62 is boomers. I think that might be slightly out of the range, but it might. What is it? 1947. I don't think.
Is that
1947 to 65? I think.
Yeah.
So there might still be some. I guess it depends on what you classify. But yeah, most of the people who are buying houses are over 50. So that's great to see. I love that. Imagine waiting 40 years to own this. It looks like it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with 0 acres of land. It's not the American dream, in my opinion. I'm getting this problem as well where like my page is not refreshing. Man. Do I dare go on my personal?
No,
okay, we got some new ones. We got some new ones. These are like kind of wholesome and not really bad. Video games are healthier use of time than social media scrolling. What are your thoughts on games? You a gamer?
I mean, I dabble, but probably not as much as or definitely not as much as I used to. I think there's a interesting connection. Like unfortunately, every time you see like a mass shooting, it's like, oh, he spent his time playing Call of Duty. And while I don't know if that's a coincidence because so many people in our generation just grew up playing video games, or if there's some sort of correlation.
I think it's just deeper mental health issues. I don't think you could say one way or another because none of the people I know, we all grew up playing video games. Now, it's never been a thought that's crossed my mind to commit any sort of violence. So, I think some people aren't really able to separate the games from reality.
I guess maybe it's a desensitizing thing.
Yeah,
for some.
If you're just playing a game that's just killing people all the time, I guess there is a chance you could become desensitized. But again, I think that is like something in your brain doesn't allow you to detach reality from this false reality that you're living in.
Mm.
But this is
I
a
think
good.
VR is going to be dangerous someday. But go ahead. Sorry.
I haven't really played VR. I don't know what it's like. Thomas Massey, I love Thomas Massey. His tweets are always great. So Trump, we can play this clip actually.
What's happening? Grocery prices are way down, and Walmart. What's happening?
Grocery prices are way down, according to the president.
Oh, this was I saw something. This is like Walmart's claiming that the price of Thanksgiving dinner has gone down like 25%.
Yeah, it's
I
like
forgot
what
what
if
the
you
number
buy
was, but
like if you get like 2 ounces of turkey per person. I remember looking at this. I think Crowder did a bit on this last year, right? And it's like the amount of food that they assume that the average person is buying is like starvation. Like it's not. I guess it's not what I would consider like an accurate depiction of a Thanksgiving dinner. But
I think there's also an issue here. Like if you buy a bunch of like terrible food, junk food, it's gonna be more expensive than getting a pound of like raw chicken breast,
yeah,
right? Like you could. I mean, granted, it might be the most bland meal ever, like the typical meal prep meal of chicken and rice. Like you could
yeah.
feed yourself for
Hey,
so
don't hate
cheap.
on it. That's how you get gains.
Ah, no, just I'm just saying, like, but it's like I saw a clip on I think it was I don't even know if it's like a official Rogan account or like some fan account. Uh but it was like this mom going through a countertop full of food for like $110. And she's like, "Oh, this won't feed my kids for a week." And it was like 4 bags of Doritos, like a bunch of ramen, like 2 tubs of ice cream. And it's like, yeah, no shit. It's only going to feed them for a few days. Like you don't have there wasn't a single dinner in that meal. And
Yeah.
like obviously you could tell the person recording, because she put her face on the camera, was overweight. Like I mean you're here arguing
It's like
that
it's
you can't afford
ironic.
food and that you're starving, yet here you are buying a bunch of terrible food and you're overweight. Like
Yeah, don't complain to me.
I'm sorry.
Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there are actually people who
Yeah.
are struggling to find food, right? Like or have food insecurity. But if I see you post a video, you're someone who abuses food stamps and you're saying, "Oh, I can't feed myself, I can't feed my kids," and you're 400 pounds, I don't feel bad for you. Maybe a hot
That's
take.
just that's our white privilege, Luke.
Yeah, that is. It's my white privilege speaking. Thomas Massey quote tweets this and says grocery prices are not way down. The only way to reverse inflation is to quit spending more money than we bring in, which means we must cut spending. The big beautiful bill increased spending. Very true.
Yeah.
Uh, American pays $900 monthly payments on her student loans. Last time she looked in January, the balance was $100K. She checked again after 11 months of payments of $9,900. Her balance was only down $1,400. So that's just an insane interest rate.
Hey, can we hold on? Can we take a sidebar really quick?
Yeah.
Back up to the big beautiful bill. I kind of want to fact check this because I saw somewhere the other day that the no tax on overtime is only for government required overtime. There's some stipulation to the part of the bill that was no tax on overtime.
I thought it was just up to a certain
it,
amount of earnings.
no, so well we can
I think it's 150K.
We'll take this off the pod because I don't want to like give too much away. But all I can say is, from what I was told, the average employee does not get tax-free overtime. And I guess it's something we can research off and bring it up next week. But
Yeah, that's.
I don't know, just a point to bring up, and I'll explain to you what I mean. But anyway, proceed.
Oh my god. Dude. So this person is quote tweeting this tweet. I'll go to this tweet. Ye sat down to express his remorse for his statements towards the Jewish community. I can't tell if this is AI or not. He said, it doesn't look like AI.
Oh, that's bad.
And this person responded to this with a picture of Incrediboy tearing down the poster of Kanye. See, it's like stuff like that, right? I think this is like
Is that his name? Is that Incrediboy?
Incrediboy, yeah. I forget
Hey,
what his name is when he
we had a
grows
comment.
up. But yeah, you
Y'all
got any
see
comments?
that damn home robot?
Home
Yeah.
robot?
Did you see? Did you see? You know who Whistling Diesel is?
Yeah.
I think that's the robot he's referring to. He's just like running into a mirror, and it's like I think he's, I don't know, maybe he's bringing that up for the whole AI stuff and like the intelligence. But I think our generation is going to be the first gen that tells our kids as it is, and that they're going to be, pardon my French, fucked when they come out of college. Yeah, I mean, I think our generation is starting to wake up to a lot of this stuff that's going on, and at least it's nice to know that there's at least, well, I'm gonna say 14 people because 12 people watching and 2
Oh
people
my
on this pod that are still holding on to reasonable right-wing views. I don't know. I think there's at least a portion of people who are gonna grow up and raise their kids.
I saw this tweet that I want to address. So
Sure.
this guy Eyal Jacoby, he is one of the people I see the most. Like he is he's like vivid. He's just like a pro-Israel everything. And then we have this is one of Fuentes' crazy tweets, right? He tweeted Team Hitler. This was a reply to somebody. I don't know the context for this, right? Like, yeah, it's a fucked up thing to say, but I'm guessing that he's rage baiting someone. I don't know the context, maybe not, but he's shut it to this random person. I don't know. It's this guy. The emphasis really is on this guy. Like, he's just talking about the engagement. If you think this is organic engagement, I have a bridge to sell you, because he got 189 views and 169 likes.
I think part of that is just honestly like the refresh rate of Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. So like the likes are racking up, but the impressions aren't racking up at the same time.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who just instinctually click the like button before they finished viewing the video. But
this is funny. So Tucker's Outpatch Company reposted Ben's monologue here. It says, "No to Ben Shapiro. Use code No to Ben Shapiro for 10% off all L products." That's funny. That's a troll. Let's see.
You think that this discount code actually works?
It says right there it's live.
That's so funny.
Oh, here's a good tweet that Ben Shapiro posted in 2005. Why the Iraq War is right for America. And another tweet, he'll never vote for Donald Trump. Ben Shapiro in 2016 was one of the most adamant anti-Trump people on the right. He was so against him. I forget who he wanted to support. It's probably Jeb Bush, honestly. But he was very anti-Trump.
Jeb Bush.
Let's keep going here. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. So I guess maybe we can watch this clip.
The main criticism, as I understand it, has been, well, yes, platforming. They say that. I don't accept platforming as a valid objection.
What is that a verb, by the way? You take a noun and you make it into a verb and nobody says anything? As a former editor, I say no.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Honestly, but as far as I know, Nick Fuentes hasn't eaten anyone. You know, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
Dude, we have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this today. We have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who was literally texted or put on Twitter, we should kill them all. Every single one. Someone texted a picture of a dead baby, and he laughs at it. And it's like, this guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool? It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest. That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said, period.
So the main pushback has been when you had Jeffrey Dahmer or the Ku Klux Klan, or et cetera, these journalists went after them, like exposed the terrible things. And Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seems to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people? Say, why didn't you raise any of that?
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think.
I think that's a pretty good response.
I'm committed to that, and if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view. Yep. But that doesn't mean that I share the views. I'm not telling Nazi jokes, obviously, or Holocaust jokes. I mean...
Yeah, I think that was a really good response. Like, and the point he makes is, like, Randy Fine, whatever he said is worse than anything Nick has ever said. Like, I guess since a lot of the stuff that Nick says is just like rage bait, I mean,
I think that's the unfortunate side of things. Is like on Nick's end, it's funny to him, but it's I mean, it's like I would equate it to a comedian getting up on stage and making a joke, and then the crowd canceling him for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I don't agree with him saying it, but at some point you have to realize that I mean, I don't know, but from my end, I'm like, all right, he probably doesn't mean that the way everyone is taking it.
I guess I
don't agree with saying it. Yeah, I would hope not. Right.
But I mean, and it, like he said, if anybody else wants to criticize how he interviewed him, then you should interview him, right? Like Ben Shapiro's not going to interview Nick Fuentes because Nick would torch him.
That would not end well.
So like I always see this, and like all of Ben's...
Plus Ben's getting paid way too much to not do that.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting paid by Israel to...
Brett Cooper's butt. Okay. Interesting. Oh, here we go. This is...
During the... Mr. Trump, Ms. Trump, I'd like to ask about your father's relationship with Israel. He's taken over $230 million from pro-Israel groups. During the summer against Iran, even though he advised against it, Israel still attacked Iran, and the U.S. still bombed on behalf of Israel.
What an accent.
Your father's frustrations with Netanyahu have been made clear.
He's from the north.
When he cursed on national TV over the situation. Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
What a well-informed young man.
What do you think he'll say?
There's no question my father's had frustration. In fact, I think he's had frustration throughout the whole conflict with both sides. At the same time, make no mistake, you have a nation that is chanting death to America every single day on the streets of Tehran. You have a nation that will develop a nuclear weapon, and you have a nation that will use that nuclear weapon against the Western way of life. There's no question about it. You have a nation that will use proxies around the world, whether it's Yemen, whether it's a lot of other ones, to inflict serious harm on this nation, and they don't hide it. They don't hide it. In fact, it's really interesting. About a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, they put out, the Ayatollah in Iran put out an emoji, like a little short video clip of a drone hovering over my father's head as he played golf. This was literally posted on the Ayatollah's, Twitter page, following my father around a golf course with a crosshair right on top of him, as if they wanted to assassinate him and as if they wanted to hurt him. Guys, Iran wanted to destroy our way of life. They wanted to hurt us. They wanted to inflict real pain. What I can tell you about my father is in terms of Israel, he wants a peaceful Middle East. He wants peace around the world. He wants to end
So is this
the
like
killing. He did that
is
with
he trying
India.
to argue like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation here?
I don't know.
Because
I
the
like
kid's question is, why are we supporting Israel? And the response was, Iran is bad.
what I don't understand is I've never seen this video that he's alleging exists. Where there's a drone. It's probably an AI video because if there was an actual drone flying above Trump's head, would have been shot down.
Yeah,
I've never seen what he's referencing, so I can't necessarily comment on that. But he's saying Iran will build a nuclear weapon and they will destroy the Western way. That's Israeli propaganda. That's what Netanyahu has testified. What he said when he testified to Congress before he went to Iraq. And in the early 2000s, like he said, Iran will develop a nuclear weapon, and that puts America and Israel in danger. Like, and the death to America thing, like all the people on the right say that, right? Oh, they cheer death to America. They cheer death to America. From what I understand, it's really just a translation thing where that's like their equivalent of like, oh, we don't like you. It's like, oh, like America sucks. And why wouldn't you think that if a country's going and bombing you and supporting a country in the Middle East that is bombing you as well? Like, for based on propaganda and false intelligence, like the nuclear weapons thing, when Tulsi Gabbard gave her annual threat assessment in March of this year, she said that Iran has not made the political decision to pursue nuclear weapons. And they still have what was it? They have what's called a fatwa from one of their ayatollahs, I think is what it is. Which is like a I don't know if it's like a religious thing, but it's like it prevents them from doing the thing. So they have a fatwa like against making a nuclear bomb, basically. But like if there's anything, if there were any point before we bombed them that they may have considered making a nuclear bomb, I'd say they're definitely interested in making one now, because if they get one, then America and Israel probably won't bomb them, just like North Korea. Like, we're not going to go bomb North Korea because we know they have nuclear weapons. Why would Iran not want to pursue the same thing now? Okay, and I guess this like goes back the other direction, right? Like we in America say death to Iran, and the people in Israel make these claims that, oh, they just want to kill us because we're Jewish. So how do you think the people in Iran feel about that? Right? Like, do you think that makes them happy? No, that probably just makes them hate you more.
Yeah, I mean it's only wrong when you say it kind of thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, I guess that doesn't really fit here.
Odds of Jesus Christ returning before GTA 6 soared to nearly 50%. I'm not a betting man, but possible. Look at that. Let's get a little Ben Shapiro clip in.
But Republicans are not campaigning in New York against socialism. They are campaigning nationally against socialism. And what they're saying is that the Democrats, don't fall for the bait, is I guess what I'm saying to you guys. I shouldn't give you, I think hope you fall for the bait, but don't fall for the bait of making Mamdani the face of your party, because the reality is that Abigail Spanberger won by a larger margin in Virginia than Zoran Mamdani won in New York last night. And by the way, he was running against another Democrat. Okay, that's how much he was disliked, right? I mean, he's running Andrew Cuomo, who's a deeply unpopular person in New York.
He sure is.
Won 800,000 votes in that race last night because there were so many Democrats who didn't like Zoran Mamdani.
Right.
So this idea that Zoran Mamdani is like overwhelmingly popular across the if you include a country that includes half of Republicans, not a city like New York, where perhaps 7 people are Republicans and like 3 of them voted for Curtis Sliwa in the end. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a representative sample. It's like saying that AOC is representative of the broad spectrum of American politics, and she isn't.
Fair enough.
But Republicans are not.
He's such a fast talker. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, he had an interesting point there.
I mean, yeah, it's like Curtis Sliwa, who's like they're not gonna vote Republican. It's like if your friends in New York find out you vote Republican, they'll like slit your throat while you're sleeping. You kind of have to vote Democrat, regardless of
the wasted vote.
Yeah. What is this? Oh, yeah, this is what you were talking about with your feed filled with people that you don't follow.
Yep.
We'll give that a like. Do we have any more comments?
Nope, nothing.
Oh, you guys are so quiet. If you're an American and can't get behind America first, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Yeah, it's just like
I like to use people's words against them. You gotta read the first tweet.
This one.
Yeah, it's the. Who's that? Oh yeah, if Nick is excitedly retweeting you, it's time to take a long, hard look in the mirror. And I said, if you're American and can't get behind America first, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And it's not like it's like, yeah, Nick's show is America first, but like it's not like he necessarily owns that phrase.
That phrase, yeah.
But it's just like, why isn't that something that we can all agree on? Like, America should be put first if you're a citizen of this country.
I almost think America first is the new MAGA, because MAGA is no longer MAGA.
Yeah, it's like MAGA, but you have to be, America first, kind of, but also Israel first. So
yeah, America tied for first.
It's just not the MAGA movement that everybody was promised in 2016. We've strayed so far. We're not in the business of making America great again. We're in the version that we engage in wars of choice against foreign nations and send our tax dollars abroad.
That's the new saying. It's Maya. It's make America Israeli again.
Maya. Trump's approval. This is a Nick tweet. Trump's approval rating is down 50% with 18 to 29-year-olds since the beginning of 2025. The reason is clear. The MAGA movement has been hijacked by Israel first and has completely lost touch with the forgotten men and women of America. America first is the only path forward.
This is an interesting point to the comment we got about where we see things transitioning after Trump leaves. And this is kind of what I was getting at, where I think it's going to be harder to get another Republican in office after this past year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to say over the next 3 years something, couldn't change for the better. And I'm holding out hope here. I'm not giving up on the current administration.
I think, man, I guess we really just got to see what's going to happen during the midterms.
Yeah. Yep.
And, like we saw what happened in the elections last week, or this week, I guess. Republicans got swept, but it wasn't. It wasn't exactly like New York. A Republican wasn't going to win. There's no chance of that. Virginia, kind of a long shot. New Jersey, kind of a long shot as well. Like, it's not necessarily elections I expected Republicans to win, but like the margins were really favoring Democrats.
Yep.
I think it's like people are fed up with the status quo of the Republicans right now, and just like I think they're just going to end up not voting.
Do you think the majority of, I'll go Republicans our age, do you think the majority are in support of Israel or against supporting Israel?
Our age? Probably against. Yeah. I think our age group in general is like
the majority of Republicans in general, regardless of age.
Probably pro-Israel, and that's declining, but I'd still say probably pro-Israel. And they don't know why. That's the thing. They don't know why. They don't know the history of the state, of the country. They don't know the wars, right? All you hear is the wars between Israel and Palestine. Like, they're not really wars.
I mean, I've said this multiple times. Yeah, I mean, I said this multiple times for a while. I was behind it as well, and it wasn't until recently that I started doing my own independent research that I
think it's just that Christian sentiment, right? Like, that's, I guess, like, probably
I've also
my own
grown
fault,
significantly
right?
deeper in my religious values over the last
but I guess, like,
months.
once you get a little bit deeper, well, at least for me, it's like labeling yourself as the chosen people, right? And that your nation is a nation of chosen people. Like, and then America has to do everything for you because of that. And like, of course you have to support the Jewish state, because like Zionism is an intrinsic Christian value, and that's just not true. We set everybody on an equal playing field. Like, we don't believe that one person is greater than another. Like, you don't even believe in Jesus Christ. So what do I have in common with you? Like,
when he is the entire basis of
the entire
religion.
basis of the break off from Judaism was Jesus Christ. So like, this whole and this is like the Judeo-Christian thing, right? Like, it's like an oxymoron. It just doesn't make any sense. And I think like the boomers don't understand this. They're like, oh, read the Bible, read the covenant of God. Like, God promised this land to Israel, and
Dude,
those that bless Israel will be
terrible
blessed.
tweet to sit on.
Oh,
sorry.
A cowboy. This baby's nose is getting squeezed.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to take away from the conversation.
No, but it's like God's covenant to that this land will be promised to the Israel people, say Israel, and those that bless Israel will be blessed. And it's like, no, he's talking about the sons of Abraham. It's like, are you a son of Abraham? No? Okay. They just interpret that as meaning the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you just take anything to its fullest extent of interpretation and make it true, okay? Because the Bible tells you that those who bless Israel will be blessed in the eyes of Ted Cruz. That's what he said when he was interviewed by Tucker. We'll just send you 80,000 tons of bombs to bomb people with. That's definitely a Christian value. It's like, no, killing people is not. Don't believe in, like, it's like evil, you know? It's just evil. You see that the tweets that these the tweets that these people put out are just evil. Like Randy Fine laughing at the deaths of children. It's just evil. It's demonic. Like, he's Jewish. Not that makes him demonic, but his tweets are demonic. But he supports Israel. I don't know. Insanity. I don't know. Do you want to keep going with this tweet thing, or do you want to go back to just chatting?
I don't know if you want to look at this heartfelt post of Obama hugging Nancy Pelosi.
Oh yeah. In other news, Nancy Pelosi, what did she serve? 20 terms, is finally retiring, but she's not retiring until 2027, I guess. But she is retiring. I think you should have been retired like 15 years ago.
Anyway.
We'll go back to the main cam here.
Hit Jeremy Clarkson. Do you get the reference?
Oh no. Anyway.
Yeah, the Dacia Sendero's not coming back, or it's delayed. Oh no. Anyway.
All power is good power besides white power. I think this is an interesting point. I guess, like, as a Christian, I don't believe in any form of collectivism. But it is funny that, like, it's okay to be prideful of your race unless you're white, right? Every other race, like, black pride is a good thing. Asian pride, Hispanic pride. I don't know if Hispanic falls under the category, the race of white, right? But, like, if you have white pride, oh no, like, you're terrible, you're a terrible person. It was just...
Yeah, I guess it kind of goes along with the you can't be racist against white people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is such an interesting narrative that's pushed.
I think just telling people that is going to make people more racist. And also, like, the reparations thing. Like, if you tell a generation of people that had nothing to do with slavery that, oh, you're a terrible person because you're white, and you're going to pay for reparations for people that weren't slaves, and their parents weren't slaves, likely their grandparents also weren't slaves, unless certain people, because, I don't know, if you're, like, in your 80s, I don't know how old your grandparents would be necessarily, but maybe your great-grandparents, I don't know, but, like, no one alive today in the United States was a slave in America. Maybe, like, I guess you could say sex slaves, because there are more slaves now than there ever were on Earth, but we're talking about like what people know is like black slavery in the United States. It's like, why you're trying to make our generation pay for it? In terms of, I think
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's
statistic
like,
is like $3.8 trillion. I think it's $3.8 trillion that have been paid in terms of welfare, opportunity programs, affirmative action, in like total monetary assistance to the black community since the Civil Rights Act was passed. So how much money do you want?
It's kind of like your dad getting 2 consecutive life sentences, and then once he passes away, you have to go serve his second life sentence. Like,
yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, it's like
I'm not saying
for
this. It. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wasn't a bad thing and it shouldn't be talked about, but to argue that you and I, you know, in our 20s should be paying reparations for other people for something that happened, you know,
that ended what, 150 years ago? More than that.
150 years ago, hundreds of years ago. Is
151 years ago? No, 161 years ago. 1864, I think. Emancipation Proclamation. Or was it 3? It was one of those years. Yeah, I think you're just gonna make people more racist. If they weren't racist now, then you tell people that they're gonna pay for something that they didn't do. They're gonna be like, well, what the hell? Like, you're already making me do it anyway. Why not fit the role? Right?
Yeah, we got another comment. I'm not sure if I completely understand it, but it says my girlfriend's sister thinks you can't be white towards white people.
You can't be racist, I think is what he means.
Yeah, maybe you can't be racist toward white people.
Yeah, I mean, that's stupid. Granted, like, race is a construct that man has created.
Is a form of racism.
I think race is a construct that man has created, and I think that naturally, people want to aspire to be like people that look like them and maybe act like them, and I guess each race may have a more distinct cultural group than another, and that's just because of tribalism. It's just human nature. But you can't be saying that you can't be racist towards white people. That just disenfranchises them even more. I think that's gonna make them in turn more racist. I don't think you should like forcibly separate yourself from each other in that regard, I guess.
Isn't blaming things on white privilege? Isn't blaming things on white privilege essentially racism?
Yeah. You're discounting everything that I have because of
based on your ethnicity?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Steven Crowder had a really good I don't like all of his stuff because he can be kind of a weirdo and a shill, but he has one video series. It's black and white on the gray issues. So in this specific scenario, he went into this black owned barbershop and was like having this conversation with them about like culture and race in America and like racial tensions, because they are rising. It's undeniable. Like races are clashing. I don't think I'm not saying that there's going to be like a race war, but it's undeniable that there are racial tensions in the United States. It's like I recommend everybody to go watch that video from him. He'd do a much better job of kind of listing the stats than I can. So I'm not going to take his bit, but it was definitely informative for me. I don't know, like we all saw the video of the girl on the bus, right? And you hear the guy say, like, I got that white woman. That's not necessarily saying that he killed her because she's white, but you might, and that's not a wrong opinion to have, to think that necessarily. We don't actually know what he thought. Like, yeah, he's crazy. And if he did think that, that's fucked up. And he killed her, so it's messed up.
Yeah.
Sorry for my French. Like, people see stuff like that, and yeah, you could say, yeah, it's the internet. Yeah, it's the internet. You can't, like, believe everything you see. It's like, okay, I'm seeing tens of these videos every single day. Like, yeah, it's anecdata, but it's not fake. So, I don't know. I think this might. I don't know if this could be a hot take, but I think that like most rap music in its I don't know, like it's been pushed to the forefront of the black community and kind of enforced ghetto culture, and I think that's just detrimental to everyone. Mostly black people. Like, yeah, you should be able to listen to whatever music you like, and that's freedom. But I think a lot of the music, not all of it, like there's some stuff that I would say is probably more noble than others. But if you listen to songs about beating women, doing drugs, and stealing, I don't think that's entirely beneficial for you in your development, especially as a younger
it's
kid.
Unhealthy.
And like, if you're in any situation where you don't have a father figure, not that you don't have to be black in that situation, but if you're listening to certain music and you're looking up to the person, the artist, as someone to aspire to be like, and they're telling you things like this through music, you start to believe it, and you become like that, then that's bad. That's objectively bad. I think
more
it's like
people
CIA
should listen to the
related,
wreck
too.
of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on the anniversary in 4 days, November 10th, 1975. If you don't know about the Edmund Fitzgerald, you're uncultured. Should we give it a play? We're gonna get banned.
That should be our outro song.
I love that song. That's like my favorite song. Not to just all of a sudden change subjects, but
I saw a post. It's become such like a, I don't want to say a meme song, but such a popular social media song of people kind of like bring it to light, and you see all these like boomer comments that's like, oh, this is a great song, like why is it gaining so much popularity? And it's like some guy staring out at like a lake listening to the song. He's like, man, you just got to take it all in. And you see some like old head commenting on it like, man, it's nice to see these young kids getting cultured with some great music. It's so
youngins.
funny to read. Yeah.
You don't know what living's like till you work 80 hours a week and can buy 5 houses.
40 hours a week. What are you, part-time?
You got soft hands, brother. You only work 40 hours
soft
a week.
hands, brother.
Yeah, I think
40 hours on Tuesday.
I don't think race is like a simple issue. Obviously, you want to be kind to everyone. Like, yeah. I don't disagree with that at all. I think just blanket collectivism is bad. But like,
yeah, love everyone, love your enemy.
Yeah, love your enemy, right? But I guess here's a question to you, right? So one of the things that Steven Crowder presented in his thing was like, I don't want to misquote this, but I think he said that you're 12 times more likely to be killed by a young black man than a young white man in the United States. And I don't think that's, like, I would not equate that to because people are black, right? It doesn't make any sense. Like, a color doesn't define what you do or how you act. But I think that's like ghetto culture.
It's kind of one thing. One of the things I agreed with Big Ben on, Ben Shapiro, was that he was doing I don't know if it was like a seminar or like a live podcast, and he said something along the lines of, it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to that like ghetto culture of, listen, there are plenty of white people who belong to that ghetto culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I don't want this conversation to come off as us being racist, because
I guess that's my opinion, right? When I say that they're trash too, like, I just think being ghetto is detrimental to everybody.
Yeah, it's a terrible culture.
Like, I see these videos, right? And it's not like I'm just seeing one. And I saw one last week of this mother was in the store, and her child who looked like she just learned how to walk was stealing from the store. And I'm like, that's just sad. That's sad. Like, what? And it's probably just, I'm sure a huge part is played by bad parenting or lack thereof.
Yeah, poor parenting.
Like, you're encouraging your child from being a toddler to steal, and it's okay.
Oh, have you seen like the Porsche pirate videos of like a mom walking her kids and walks by like a doorstep with a package and the mom's like, go get it. Like,
Yeah,
go
what
get
does
it.
that teach them?
The kid runs up and steals the package, and then it's awful seeing that stuff.
But I guess this is like from watching that video with Crowder, right? Like one of the guys, and I guess what I gathered from all of them was the lack of accountability. Like they're like, oh yeah, well this is because of white people. This is because of white people that we have to do this. It's like, have to do what? Like, what did I do to you that you have to? And like all the guys in the barbershop were pretty respectful guys. Like they were just kind of giving their opinion, and like their business owners, I think he's in Texas, just like giving their opinion, and it's like, oh no man, like none of that stuff is true. Like the statistics that Stephen was giving, it's like these are FBI crime statistics. It's like, do you discount the statistics and say like, yeah, like I agree with love everyone, right? But do you take the statistics into account at all in your life? Like I don't think, to me it's not like I'm not racist for acknowledging that statistics exist and the statistical probability of things exists, right? But it's like a conflicting moral barrier of like the statistic.
You almost aren't allowed to follow
morality.
the statistics. It's almost frowned upon to follow these certain statistics.
I mean, I'm not like a city person anyway. Like I don't like going to any city, and that's where most of the crime is. So just like stay out of cities. But America's getting more crimey, so the crime is leaking out, I guess. So it's bad everywhere, and just encourage good values and encourage kindness and be kind to people, and if you could be that person that, I don't know, changes somebody else, and bring back Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Yeah, Uncle Ben's Rice, and what was it, Pearl Milling Company now is what was previously Aunt Jemima.
Dude, this is the funniest thing ever. I was listening to
That's
Candace
like
the other
prime
day.
cancel culture.
No, listen, she was talking about the Cracker Barrel CEOs changing the logo, and she's like, "Oh man, she said something along the lines of like, yeah, like the CEOs of Cracker Barrel thought it was a good idea to change the logo, but the people came out and said, I want to see the cracker and the barrel," and it was just it was the funniest comment ever. But yeah, man, changing logos of things, changing sports teams, mascots, names is, I don't know. It's.
Yeah, we went through that biggest phase of cancel culture.
Why are we
a couple
taking
years
something?
Ago. We just feel so bad for everyone.
Yeah, why are we taking something that's been around for so long? It's like, I don't know.
Well,
maybe
the thing
it's
is, like,
I
guess with Aunt Jemima, I think the claim was that it was like pushing like a bad stereotype about black women. I don't really know, but then you just removed representation of black women at all from the company and just made it like a mill. So it's like if you wanted more representation, you just took it away. I guess the same with Uncle Ben's. Like I'm pretty sure they're fictional characters, but I don't know. Are we getting back? I mean, now the cancel culture's on the right. It's not necessarily the left, and everybody's a Nazi. So
no one's safe. Everyone's canceling everyone. Yeah, doesn't matter who you support.
That is very true. Nobody's safe. And
we're gonna get canceled by someone in the comments one day.
Probably, yeah.
Someday we're gonna get someone who clicks on that link on our Twitter. It's gonna be someone you pissed off from RageBait on Twitter. They're gonna click on that link and then.
I mean, they're welcome to come in here and ask questions.
A lot of the time, it's not even the opposite race having an issue with these labels. It's the radical left white people.
That is true.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's such a good point. It's like, oh my goodness, there was a like a white kid that went around I think it was some sort of like Mexican festival, and he had like a sombrero on.
Oh, Will
and,
Witt. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he had a what do they call them? Like the quilt kind of. Oh, man.
I don't know what it's called.
Jeez, I'm gonna be considered as racist if I don't get. Yeah, something like that. And he was walking around, and he went up to all like these white people and was like, "Oh, is my outfit racist or offensive?" And all the white people are like, "Well, are you Mexican?" He's like, "No." And they're like, "Yeah, it is." And he went around to like 10 white people, and they all said he's racist. And then he started going around to like local Mexicans and was like, "Is my outfit offensive?" And they're like, "No, no, we love it." Like, and it just goes to show that. I mean, for a large majority of the racist claims, it is by. I mean, it's like when BLM was popping off, and you get all these like, basic white girls posting a black square on their Instagram story.
Squares.
Like, come on, are you like? Do you think you're gonna gain some brownie points? All right, that.
Well, that's like it's like virtue signaling to the max. You're just like trying to prove to everyone that you're a good person.
And I feel like that honestly makes you sound worse.
Yeah.
Because if I sit here and if I'm like, I know, I swear I'm not racist. I'm not racist. It's like, all right, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason you're saying that.
That's kind of like what Tucker said in that interview with Megyn Kelly. He's kind of like, well, why do I have to prove to you that I'm a good person?
Yeah.
I guess he said that the only person he needs to like be right with and prove that he's good is God. It's like, yeah, I don't need to prove to like all these random people that I'm a good person. I'm just gonna do my best to be a good person.
It's the one person you're gonna have to answer to.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just like crazy leftists, just like suicidal empathy, really. They just like will tear down everything just in the name of virtue signaling.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's kind of like Mamdani as well. It's like tear down everything that society has built because you feel bad for everyone to think everyone needs to have everything for free. But I think it's also, like I said, they want stuff for free, and the policies that Zoran's actually going to be able to push through. I don't really know. You don't have that much power as mayor, and you're not just going to be able to get money from the governor. The governor's not just going to be like, okay, here's more tax money for you to make these things free. Like I don't think it's going to work like that. So.
Do you see that Abbott was like, I'm implementing a 100% tariff on anyone who moves to Texas from New York?
I kind of agree with that, honestly. But
I don't know how you
that seems unconstitutional.
Do that, but yeah,
so.
I don't know how you get away with that, but funny nonetheless. And all the people were like, "Don't come to Florida." Someone made a map, and it was like, Texas was written over Canada and Florida was written over Mexico. It was like this is for anyone. This is for anyone who lives in New York right now.
I think it's like you could certainly have people from New York leaving now, going to Texas, like and maybe following what conservatives would say are like typical Texan values and voting in the way that Texans generally would like. But I think if you've been in New York this long,
three Republicans in New York.
Yeah, well, if you've been in Texas this long, and now in New York this long, and now this is finally your sign to leave. Like after all this, now you're saying, okay, now it's time to leave because it's gotten so radical. You must be like fairly up there in terms of your leftist politics to have wanted to stay that long.
Yeah.
Like New York is the most taxed state in the entire country.
I think you could argue that about a lot of states, though.
Yeah.
And also, you have to consider, especially for people our age, like you might not have been able to move out for various reasons.
Yeah, I guess
until a certain point.
Or if you have family there, you want to stay. Yeah. Or it's like you finally had enough, right? Whatever state that I want to move to accepts me. I just don't want to pay taxes. Not that I'm gonna evade, but. I think Mamdani thinks billionaires aren't educated.
He's going to evade taxes.
No, I don't want to move to Texas.
You know what? Typical white person thing to do, tax evasion.
Sue me.
Typical.
Well, don't sue me, but like, It's not like I'm gonna purposely evade taxes, but taxation.
I'm kidding, everyone.
Without representation, like what are my dollars going to?
I think Mamdani thinks billionaires aren't educated.
My tax dollars are going to pay for illegal immigrant SNAP benefits, and I'm not okay with that. So I'm refraining from paying them until you provide me representation. Yeah, I think Mamdani thinks that I don't. So the 1% in New York pays like what 50% of the taxes, and he's gonna say that billionaires are uneducated. It's like, what? I don't think Mamdani's accomplished a single thing in his life besides pandering to different groups to get him elected.
What's his net worth? Can you look up Mamdani's net worth?
Oh, let's see. Oh, this is the Hindustan Times. I don't know how I trust.
Oh.
Oh, this is Forbes. Mamdani's salary will double. Wait, what? So he's a current state legislator, I guess. He makes $142,000 a year. He'll make $260,000 a year.
Okay, so I just want to, I want to know his net worth, and so we can come back to it in a couple of years.
Mamdani to be worth around $200,000.
Okay, so let's make note of that, and then let's come back in.
I guess that's not 1%, but that's like, he's up there. He's
no, but let's come back in a year or two, and then let's see how his $200,000 salary brings him in $40 million over the course of 2 years.
Yeah, if he was a real socialist, he'd be sharing his money with everyone in New York and lifting up the homeless. We've gone for
you want to
2 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to wrapping up. Yeah, you want to play our outro song?
Can we?
I don't know how that works.
We'll show the song as like a reaction. We're not playing it so you can listen to it. We're playing it as free use.
I looked up if the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald was copyrighted, and it says the song of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is copyrighted. However, the actual shipwreck itself is not copyrighted.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Well, I want to hold on. I want to play it. Will this royally screw me over? No, I don't think we should. I don't know if I want to take that risk.
All right. Maybe we can find a non-copyrighted version.
Well, I was just gonna play a video with lyrics.
Oh, okay. Or we could reach out to Gordon.
He's dead. He just died.
That was a joke.
Oh, no.
Terrible joke. I'm sorry. Terrible joke.
It. Let's see here.
Just look up a non-copyright version, and then we have plausible deniability.
Well, we're not even watching a copyright version. We're just watching a YouTube video with that.
Okay.
So it'll be fine. All right, prepare to be amazed, people. This is our. Oh, hold on. It's not working. Hold on.
What do you mean?
It's freaking. All right, here we go. Where's the sound? I don't hear the sound.
Man, we can't escape the technical difficulties.
I don't think it's
Is it literally just the lyrics? No, because I heard a sound. Oh, there we go. Okay,
all right. It just I'm impatient.
We'll count out the episode midway through the song.
Yeah. This is what gets people going. I got no milk left.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
I love it. It's a
The
timeless
lake, it
classic.
is said, never gives up her
Oh, you just
dead
wanna
when the skies of
beer in your
November
hand,
turn gloomy.
sitting over a body of water right now.
Just looking out.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty.
You will be missed.
That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early.
Oh man, really?
Kind of crazy. All days, I bet.
The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in
Like this,
Wisconsin.
please hit the like button.
As the big freighters go,
Hit
it
the like
was
button for
bigger
more like
than
button.
most, with a crew
And
and
the
good
Edmund
captain
Fitzgerald.
well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for
All right,
Cleveland.
you want to count it out?
Then later that night when the ship's bell
Thank you,
rang,
everyone,
good
for tuning into episode 6
Thank
of
you,
Operation
everybody.
Alpha. We hope you're enjoying it,
I think
and
we had our,
we
I
hope
think
you
we had our
like the
highest
little
viewer count
segments.
tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I think it was our highest tonight. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the song. Hope we don't get copyright strike for that. Oh, it's okay.
We're not back next
Whatever.
week. It's because we got copy striked.
Then I'll miss the 10 cents that I don't get from this video.
every man you
I don't do it
Be
for the
sure to,
money. I do it for the love of the game.
Love of the game. Be sure to follow our Twitters, follow the pod's Twitter. You'll be updated on episode releases, and you can be entertained with our comical tweets. And yeah, I mean, feel free to comment on past episodes if you have anything that you want us to cover or any new segment ideas.
If you haven't watched past episodes and you're curious, go back and watch them because there's new topics every week, new stories. They're all current. At some point, I'm sure we'll get into conspiracy theories and stuff. That's all we got. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Peace.
Fellas, it's too rough to feed you.